Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive with us into language.
Love it.
Today we're going beyond grammar.
Okay.
We're not looking at sentence structure today.
Right.
We're diving into idioms, vocabulary.
Yeah.
And just to make things interesting, a
Okay.
little British slang.
All right, I'm game.
So get ready.
I'm ready.
We're going to unlock a couple of intriguing idioms today.
Okay.
And then we're going to get our hands on what I think is a really powerful vocabulary word.
Okay.
And then we're going to round it out with that British slang.
Sounds good.
So
Yeah.
get ready to not just speak better English,
Yes.
but to understand the why.
I love that.
Where did these words come from?
Yes.
The stories behind the words.
The stories.
So first up are idioms.
Okay.
You know those phrases that are just like,
I'm
what? Did I just
Yeah.
completely change languages?
It's like a secret code.
in the middle of this conversation. They're like little puzzles.
They are.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, where else would you hear?
Right.
Someone saying they're going to spill the tea.
Exactly.
Or something's a piece of cake.
Yeah. Like, that's the beauty of idioms, isn't it?
Right.
They take everyday language
Yeah.
and they twist it.
Yes.
They make you stop and think about what the words really mean.
Yes.
You can't always get the meaning just by looking at the individual words.
Okay, so let's unpack that with a super common idiom. Turn a blind eye. I bet you've used this one.
Oh, absolutely.
What does it actually mean? And where did this whole idea of just strategically ignoring things come from?
So to turn a blind eye means that you are deliberately choosing to ignore something.
Okay.
Usually something that you shouldn't ignore,
Okay.
like a problem or an issue that needs to be addressed.
And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
This idiom actually comes from British history.
Okay.
We're talking Admiral Horatio Nelson.
The Battle of Copenhagen.
Really?
The whole shebang.
I did not know that.
Okay, so
Wow.
the story goes
Okay.
that during this very intense battle,
Right.
Nelson's superior officer
Uh-huh.
sent a signal for Nelson to withdraw,
Alrighty.
to retreat.
Right.
But Nelson,
Uh-huh.
being the determined guy that he was,
Yeah.
was not about to let a little order from above
Of course not.
stop him.
Right.
He was winning.
Yeah.
So what did he do?
What did he do?
He literally held his telescope
Oh my God.
up to his blind eye
Oh,
and claimed that he couldn't see the signal
He's like, nope, I don't see it.
to retreat.
Wow, what a power move.
Talk about a power move.
Yeah.
And that is how turning a blind eye was born.
Wow, I love it.
It's amazing.
That's great.
It's a great illustration of how a single idiom can take us
Right.
back in time.
Back in time.
It's like this tiny little window into this major historical event.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that history isn't just in textbooks.
That's right.
It's literally woven into the fabric of our language.
I love that.
Okay, but let's bring it back to the present.
Okay.
When would you use turn a blind eye
Okay.
in an everyday conversation?
Let's imagine you're at work
Okay.
and you see a colleague
Yeah.
maybe breaking a minor rule.
Okay.
Maybe they're taking a slightly longer lunch break
Mm-hmm.
or they're kind of bending the company's Wi-Fi policy a little.
Okay.
But because they're usually so reliable,
Yeah.
you decide to turn a blind eye
Yeah.
just this once.
Yeah, or maybe you turn a blind eye to the mountain of laundry.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Oh, absolutely.
there's a new season of your favorite show out.
Of course.
I think we've all been there.
Absolutely. We've all been there.
Right.
It's about making a conscious choice to overlook something.
Yeah.
And sometimes those choices are driven by, convenience diplomacy.
Right.
Or even like Nelson, a desire for self-preservation.
Yes.
We do what we got to do.
Okay, on to our next idiom adventure.
Okay, let's do it.
This time it's one that paints a very
Right.
evocative picture,
Right.
especially if you picture it literally burn the midnight oil.
Yes. This one conjures up those images of late-night study sessions.
Yes.
Those work marathons when you're fueled by
Yes.
caffeine
Yes.
and sheer determination to meet a deadline.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate idiom
It is.
for anyone who has ever pulled an all-nighter.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Burning the midnight oil actually takes us back to a time before electricity,
Wow.
when oil lamps were a necessity
Right.
for anyone trying to get work done after sunset.
I didn't think about that.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
No laptops,
Right.
no overhead lights,
Right.
just the soft glow of an oil lamp
Right.
illuminating your workspace. You're hunched over your books or whatever you're working on.
Yeah.
The only sound is the scratching of your quill on parchment.
It's such a powerful image.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a certain dedication there that feels lost
Right.
in our modern, always-on world.
Yeah. I agree.
Have you ever found yourself burning the midnight oil?
Oh, of course.
Even with all of the modern conveniences.
Research often demands those late nights.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. There is something incredibly satisfying
Yeah.
about pushing through
Right.
and knowing that you're giving it your all,
Yes.
even when that clock is ticking past midnight.
Yeah.
Although I will say,
Yeah.
I'm quite grateful for electricity.
Me too.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't think I would be as productive
Right.
if I had to worry about my oil lamp running dry in the middle of a thought.
That would be a problem.
But there's something romantic about that image, isn't there?
There is.
Of burning the midnight oil. It speaks to a different era.
It does. It speaks to this timeless dedication,
Yes.
this drive to accomplish something meaningful,
Yes.
regardless of the obstacles.
And with that image in mind,
Okay.
we're going to shift gears just a bit.
All right, I'm ready.
Get ready, because it is time to unlock
Okay.
the power of a single,
Yes.
very mighty word.
Let's do it.
Today's word is augment,
Augment.
a word that can seriously level up
Yes.
your vocabulary.
I love it.
Augment
Mm.
is all about making something bigger,
That's-
greater,
yeah.
more intense.
Mhm.
It's about enhancing or increasing something
Yes.
in a way that is impossible to ignore.
I like it.
And here's what I love about augment.
Okay, what's that?
It's so versatile.
Oh, nice.
You can augment your income.
Okay.
You can augment your skills.
Uh-huh.
You can even augment the flavor of your cooking.
I like it.
It works everywhere.
You're right. It's one of those words that moves effortlessly
Yes.
between different contexts.
Yes.
And it always brings this sense of expansion
Yeah.
and enhancement
Yeah.
with
Okay, so let's say you're working on a project
it. Okay.
and you want to emphasize that you're not just adding to it.
Right.
You are significantly boosting its impact.
You could say, we're going to augment the project's reach by incorporating a social media campaign.
Doesn't that sound so much
Yes.
more impactful
It
than just saying,
Right.
we're going to add social media?
Yes, much better.
Augment just brings that
Yeah.
extra oomph.
And the best part is it achieves that extra level of sophistication
Yes.
without being overly complicated or obscure.
Right.
It's a word anyone can use.
And that's what we love about expanding our vocabulary, right?
Exactly.
It's about finding those words that perfectly capture what we want to say
Yes,
and elevate our communication.
exactly.
But hold on,
Yeah.
because before we get too serious,
Okay,
I think we need to inject
Yeah.
a little fun into this deep dive
I like it.
with a little British slang.
All right, bring it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today's slang term
Okay.
is faff around.
Faff around.
Now, be honest.
Okay.
Have you ever caught yourself
Well, maybe a time or two.
faffing around?
To be
or
fair,
even just a little.
who hasn't?
Right.
But for anyone who needs clarification,
Yeah.
faffing around is a wonderfully British way of saying that someone is wasting time
Yes.
on trivial things
Okay.
instead of buckling down
Yes.
and focusing on what matters.
It's that feeling you get when you have a mountain of
Oh.
important tasks
Yeah.
staring you in the face.
Right.
But instead of doing any of them,
Yes.
you're reorganizing your desk drawers
Oh, yeah.
or endlessly scrolling through social media.
It happens to the best of us.
I think we've all been there.
We've all been there.
Right.
Yes. It's like the ultimate act of procrastination.
It is.
But you know what I love about that phrase, faffing around?
It's that.
It's not usually meant as a harsh criticism.
Yeah, it's more like a
It's really not.
playful nudge.
It is
Yeah.
a gentle ribbing.
Like, come on, mate. You're faffing around again.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It speaks to that self-awareness,
Yes.
that ability to laugh at ourselves,
Yes.
which, let's face it, the British are very well known for.
They are.
And I think it's kind of a refreshing change of pace,
Yes. Especially in our
wouldn't you say?
like go, go, go,
Yes.
fast-paced world.
Yes.
Sometimes it's okay to slow down,
I agree.
embrace a little inefficiency.
Absolutely.
Like a little bit.
Well, faffing around never hurt.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Right.
We could all use a little bit more of that
Yeah.
in our lives.
So speaking of embracing new perspectives,
Okay.
let's circle back
Okay.
to our power word of the day, augment.
Augment.
We talked about its versatility,
Yes.
but I'm really interested
Okay.
in how this one single word
Okay.
can make you sound.
So much more authoritative
Uh-huh.
especially in a professional setting
It does, doesn't it?
or in like academic writing.
Yeah, it's like leveling up your language.
Yes.
So instead of saying,
Yes.
we need to improve our marketing strategy,
Yeah.
you could say, we need to augment our marketing strategy to reach a wider audience.
See, it just sounds so much more
It does.